We never expected the Apple Watch would have great battery life. After all, few smartwatches outside of Pebble do really, and with around a day and a half manageable on a single charge, we'd like to see a bit more. Charging a phone once a day is bad enough, but having to charge your watch that frequently, or at all really, is a bit much, and the prospect of having your watch run out of battery when you're away from a charger isn't terribly appealing either. So we really hope that the Apple Watch 2 has better battery life. We don't expect miracles, but would 2 or even 3 days between charges really be so much to ask? Some people are probably big fans of the Apple Watch's square design, and we're not saying the Apple Watch 2 needs to ditch that, but just as the Apple Watch has multiple size options, the Apple Watch 2 could offer multiple shape choices, so you can pick between a square and a circle. That would instantly make it a lot more appealing to a lot more people, and it's a logical evolution of all the customization options offered by the first-gen model, giving you one more way to make the Apple Watch your own. The Apple Watch is actually a little smaller than most competitors, but it's still big by wristwatch standards, and it's got a slightly chunky design, so we'd like to see Apple refine that a little. Chunky is not a word that comes to mind when looking at most Apple products, but we're hopeful that a change will come there. After all, this is a first-generation device, so Apple is presumably just focused on getting the basics right. This won't happen, but wouldn't it be amazing if it did? Right now no one with an Android phone is going to buy the Apple Watch, though Apple is probably hoping a lot of people will switch to an iPhone as a result. But if the Apple Watch 2 got full Android compatibility, then it could become very hard to compete with. The first-gen watch is already almost certainly going to become the best-selling smartwatch by far. If everyone without an iPhone could buy it too, then it would surely dwarf the competition. Then again, maybe that wouldn't be such a good thing. We do like choice. One of the Apple Watch's biggest selling points is as a health accessory, but while early rumors pointed to a sensor-packed device, many of those sensors haven't made the cut. A mix of hairy arms and inconclusive readings have caused sensors for blood pressure, blood oxygen and stress levels to be removed, so it would be nice to see Apple revisit them for the next version. Plus, it turns out tattoos really mess with the heart rate sensor. Right now the Apple Watch is a decent tool for tracking your health, but it could be a whole lot better. Similarly, the Apple Watch is packed with fitness tracking tools, but one thing it lacks is built-in GPS. As such, it can't be classed as a full-blown running watch. So we'd like to see that added for the Apple Watch 2, enabling runners and cyclists to leave their smartphone at home. The digital crown on the Apple Watch is a great idea, but at the moment the interface is perhaps too focused on clicks, with not enough flicks. Which is to say, you rarely touch the screen to navigate. That's not entirely a bad thing, as the display is small and avoiding fingerprints is always a good thing to aim for, but in some ways it seems a step back, when most smart devices are all about interacting directly with the touchscreen. It's also a little less intuitive than it could be, particularly if you're used to tapping and swiping on an iPhone. Depending on which size model you opt for, the Apple Watch has a screen resolution of either 340 by 272 or 390 by 312. Given its small size, that's not bad, and it's comparable with many other smartwatches, but right now no smartwatch has a pin-sharp display, so that's something we'd like to see on the Apple Watch 2. For one thing, the lack of visible pixels will make it look more watch-like when using an analog watch face. But beyond that, it's just nicer looking at a crystal clear screen than a lower resolution one. Apple devices are always expensive, and with the Apple Watch seemingly positioned as a bit of a luxury item, its price is very much on the steep side. In fact, as you opt for a watch edition version, it costs up to a wallet-melting $17,000, £13,500, 24,000 Australian dollars. If you're super rich, then that's fine for a timepiece that won't be out of date in a year, but even Mr. Monopoly might think twice about shelling out that sort of money on a smartwatch. Even at the lower end, prices start at £299, $349, 499 Australian dollars. That's already more than just about any Android Wear watch, and that's for a sport model. To get a classy look that can compete with, say, the LG Watch Urbane, you're looking at a starting price of around £559, $649, 949 Australian dollars. That's insane, so we hope the Apple Watch 2 is a little bit more affordable. If it's not, at least the current model will be dropped in price to make that the budget Apple Watch we're all craving. The Apple Watch comes with 8 GB of built-in storage, which is pretty good by smartwatch standards, except that only 2 GB of that can be used for music and just 75 MB for photos. Of course, you'll usually have it paired to an iPhone with far more storage space. But if, for example, Apple does add GPS so we can go running without our phone, then it would be nice to have space for all our tunes.